So, hi guys, in this video, we will tackle about the three-phase circuit. A three-phase circuit is a three-phase AC system consists of three-phase generator, transmission lines, and a load line. But basically, in this video, we will tackle more about the sample problem for us to understand more about the three-phase circuit. So, let's start. So, for our sample, a balanced three-phase Y-connected load is connected across a 200 volts, 60 hertz source and draws 10 amperes current at 0.8 lagging PF or the power factor. Take note that 0.8 lagging power factor and 10 amperes and also the 230 volts. For the follow-up question, if the impedance Z2N is suddenly shorted, calculate the line 2. But in this portion for a follow-up question, we will just answer this later on. So we will just focus here for the balanced three-phase. So I already wrote a solution, a circuit diagram for us to understand about the three-phase, and also it will not take time in writing since we are using the paint application. So what we have here is a Y connected impedance, the impedance here, and also we have a source voltage of 230 volts and a 10 draws amperes. So for the impedance, for the formula for the impedance is absolute value for the impedance is equal to Vp or the source voltage all over with the current. Whereas our Vp here is the voltage at line all over here is divided by square root of 3. And then since we have here the impedance is equal to VL over with square root of 3 all over with the current. So what we have here, since we have here the VL 200 volts and current 10 amperes, we'll just substitute here. So the the impedance is 13.27 ohms as of calculation is angle of theta. And here, since we have angle of we have the angle or the theta, then as on the solution or on the sample problem, the power factor is 0.8. So the power factor is equal to cos theta. Then since we're getting the theta, so cos -1 for the times the power factor of 0.8, so the theta is 36.87 degrees. So our impedance is 13.27 angle of 36.87 degrees. So take note, as this one for the impedance, we will be using this one for the follow-up questions. So what is the our follow-up question? That will be here. So the follow-up question is, if the impedance Z2N is suddenly shorted, calculate the line 2. So as you can see here, we have the same circuit diagram, the impedance here, the impedance here, and also the source voltage of the 230 volts. But as you can see in the problem, if the impedance C2N is suddenly shorted, so we'll just remove this one and replace it with a straight line since it is being shorted. So since we have since the Z2N is shorted, we can get the current at line 1 so that we will get the line 2. Since it is shorted, so the line 2 here can be get with the use of current L1 and the current L3. So first we will just get the current in line 1. So that will be IL1 is equal to V over Z. So our voltage is 230 volts, angle 0 degrees. Take note that 0 degrees is we are talking about the unity power factor, which means that in a diagram, the voltage in the line 1 is 0 degrees. Since we are talking about the unity factor. All over with the Z. Since our Z there in a previous solution, that will be 13.27 angle of 36.87 degrees. Upon calculation, the current in line 1, that will be 17.33 angle of 36.87 amperes. So since we have here the IL1, we can also get the IL3 or the current in line 3. Then since we have the voltage of 230 volts and also the impedance, substitute also for the voltage and the impedance. So for voltage at 3.2, as you can see, this is 3.2. It's because Y can also be calculated using delta. So as you can see here, 230 volts, angle of 60 degrees. So why 60 degrees? It's because V32 or V at 3.2 or 3 here and 2 is that 0 unity power factor for voltage at 1.2. For V at 3.2 is 60 degrees, and V31 is that will be 120, and for V23 is that will be 240. But in this problem, we're just talking about the current in line 3. So in line 3, that will be V at 32. So 60 degrees angle. So upon calculation, 17.33 angle of 23.13 degrees ampere. Since we have the IL1 and IL3, we can also get the current in line 2 using the KCL. So KCL is known as Kirchhoff's current law, whereas all current is equal to 1. So current line 1 plus current line 2 plus current line 3 is equal to 0. Upon sa transpose for since we are talking about line 2 or for the current, IL2 is equal to negative current L1 minus current for line 3. And then common of negative, so IL2 or the current in line 2 is equal to negative times IL1 plus IL3. So substitute the values for IL1 and substitute also the value for IL3. So this is our IL1 here, IL1 here, and IL3 here. So substitute the values, negative parenthesis of 17.33 angle of 36.87 degrees plus 17.33 angle 23.13 degrees. So our current for L2 upon calculation is that will be 34.4 angle of negative 150 amperes. So this is our current. But take note, we're talking about the current. So that will be here, 34.4. So we'll just check if our 34.4 is in the choices. So as you can see here, that will be 34. Now there is 34 here, 34.4 amperes. So upon solution, our answer is correct. So moving forward, moving on for our next problem. Our next problem is 3 balanced loads are connected in parallel across a 230 volts 3-phase source. The current drawn by each load are 30 amperes at 0.707, leading power factor 25 amperes at unity power factor, and 35 amperes at 0.866 lagging power factor. Take note that 0.707 leading power factor 25 amperes at unity power factor. And also for 35 amperes is at 0.866 lagging power factor. Calculate the apparent power delivered by the source. So we have here the choices. So moving forward for the solution, problem number 7. So what we have here is the apparent power. So we're talking about the apparent power. So the apparent power is a formula of square root of -3 times the voltage at line, or the VL, times the I times LT. ILT. So ILT is equal to IL, since we do have here, we do have the voltage L, since we have here as 230 volts, we will just answer first the current in LT, or the line total. So for our current LT is equal to IL, which is here the load 1, plus IL times load 2, IL for the load 2 plus IL for the load 3. Take note that load 1 is 30 amperes at 0.707 leading power factor. So we can use that one in a complex or in a rectangular form. So 30 angle of cos -1 times 0.707 power factor, leading power factor. So we'll know that the theta is equal to cos -1 times the power factor. So that's why it says that cos -1 times 0.707, and then for the load 2 is 25 angle of 0 degrees. Why angle 0 degrees? It's because it's a unity power factor, meaning at 0. And for the load 3, that will be 35 amperes angle of cos -1, 0.866 lagging power factor. Upon calculations with a complex number in rectangular form, excuse me, ILT is equal to 30 angle of 45 degrees plus 25 angle of 0 plus 35 angle of -30, since it is lagging power factor. ILT upon calculations, that will be 76.61 angle of 2.78 amperes. Since we do have here the current for LT, we can get now for the apparent power. So apparent power is equal to square root of 3 times VL times ILT. So apparent power is equal to square root of 3 times the source voltage of 200 volts. So this is our source voltage for VL times the current in LT. So this is 76.61 amperes. Upon calculation, that will be 30.520 kVA, or kilovolts ampere. So upon checking in our choices, that will be 30.52 kVA. So here at A. So moving forward, or moving on to the next problem. The next problem is calculate the total power drawn by the unbalanced load in the previous problem. So since we will just take here that there is a previous problem. So the previous problem is, that will be problem number 4. 3 balanced load of impedance Z1N is equal to 5 ohms. So, Z2N is equal to 8 ohms. Z3N is 10 ohms, are connected in Y. Take note, this is Y. to a three-phase, three-wire system of which the line voltage is 230 volts. Calculate the voltage across the 5 ohms. So for our next problem, problem number 4. So here we have the circuit diagram of a Y connected three-phase, three-wire system. So we have 7-2N of 8 ohms, 7-1N of 5 ohms, 7-3N of 10 ohms, and a source voltage of 230 volts. So na siya ay 230 volts. Since we do have there the IL1, the impedance, the voltage, we will transform this one into delta for us to understand or for us to get the values for the different impedances. So in transforming Y to delta here, so delta, we have the impedances of Z12, the impedance of Z23, and the impedance of Z31. And then, and for our current, the same as the current, IL1, IL2, and IL3. And getting the impedance of Z12 with the use of the formula Z1, Z2 plus Z2, Z3, or the Z1N, Z2N plus Z2N times Z3N plus Z3N times Z1N over with Z3N. So we all know that the Z2N is 8 ohms and our Z1N is 5 ohms. We can substitute this one. So 5 times 8 plus Z2N is 8 times the Z3. We have the Z3N is 10 ohms. So that will be 8 times 10 plus Z3 is 10 times 5 all over with 10. So upon calculation for impedance of 1, 2, that will be 17 ohms. And also we can get the impedance for the Z23 or the impedance for the impedance of 23. So impedance of 23 is the same as in the numerator above. That will be Z1, Z2 plus Z2, Z3 plus Z3, Z1. So upon calculation, that's 170, but a difference in the denominator since we are talking about the Z23. So the Z23 is, that will be 5 since this is not included. So 170 divided by 5, so the impedance for the 23 is 34 ohms. And for this for the impedance for Z31, that will be 170 also divided by 8, which is our that will be not included for Z31. So that will be Z31 is equal to 21.25 ohms. Now, for this one, we will use this Z12, we will use this Z31, and we will use this Z31. Excuse me. So for the continuation here, so for the current L is equal to voltage over with the impedance. So IL1, we will take for the IL1, that will be I12 minus I31. So IL1 is equal to voltage at 1, 2, going back to the delta is equal all over with Z12. So we'll know that current is voltage all over with Z. So for current 3.1, excuse me, that will be voltage 3.1 all over with Z31. Then, so IL1 is equal to 230 volts, same as the source voltage, angle of 0 degrees, all over with 17. Since our Z12 there is 17. Excuse me. So in continue, V31 is 230, same voltage, angle of 120 degrees. So as you can see in the in the delta, that's 120, right? So that's 120 degrees. So in continuation, all over with 21.25 ohms. So for our current line 1, that will be 21.13 angle of negative 26.33 degrees upon calculations. But in our current also in 2, that will be I23 minus I12. So all 2's are in there, all 1's are there, all 3's are there. So for the current L2 or the line 2 is voltage 23 divided by impedance of 23 minus voltage at 12 all over with impedance 12. And then for the source voltage, there will be 230 volts, angle of 240 degrees, all over with 34. So for our Z23, that will be 34. Excuse me. And as you can see, the why 240 degrees is because based on the diagram, and the Z23 in the phasor in the diagram goes like this. So basically, the Z23 is here. That will be 240 degrees. So upon continuation, 230 volts, angle of 240 degrees, all over with 34, minus 230, angle of 0 degrees, all over with 17, which is our Z12. So upon calculation, that will be 17.9 angle of negative 160.89 degrees. So we have now here the IL1, the IL2, and we will also get the IL3. So IL3 is there is 3 here. So IL3 is equal to V31 all over with Z, or the impedance for 31, minus voltage 23 all over with Z23. Then the current for L3, that will be this one. So 230 volts, same as the voltage, angle of 120 here. So we have here the 120 degrees, all over with Z31, we have 21.25 ohms, minus 230, angle of 240 degrees, all over with 34. So upon calculation, current L3 is equal to 15.3 angle of 95.56 degrees amperes. So we will use this previous problem for us to get the power factor. So take note that 21.13, 17.9, and 15.3, since we're talking about the current. So for our problem number 5, calculate the power drawn by the unbalanced load in the previous problem. So our previous problem there is already solved. So we can get the total power. So the total power is a formula of, we all know that PT is equal to IT squared times the impedance. So we'll know that we have the IL1 squared times the Z1N plus the current in line 2 squared times the impedance in 2N plus, we are talking about the total power, so plus the current in line 3 squared times the impedance in 3N. So we'll know that the IL1 here is 21.13 in the previous problem, problem number 4. So 21.13 squared times 5 plus our Z1N here in the problem, that will be 5, 8, and 10. So 5 plus our IL2 is 17.9 squared times 8 plus 15.3 squared times 10, which is our Z3N. So upon calculations, the total power is 7,136.56 watts, or at 7136.6 watts. So basically, they are all the same. So the answer is D. All right, so moving forward for our next problem, for us to understand more and more about the three-phase circuit. So our next problem is problem number 12. So at problem number 12, a three-phase heating unit and induction motor are connected in parallel across a 208 volts three-phase supply. Motor is rated at 5 HP or horsepower, 0.8 PF or the power factor with efficiency of 0.85. Heating unit is rated at 1,500 watts. The line current will be equal to these choices. Excuse me. So for our problem number 12, that will be here. So ST, we're talking about the line current. So the line current, but the line current here is ST, or the apparent power, all over with square root of 3 times the voltage at line, or the voltage VL. I mean VL. So we need to get the ST here. So ST is unknown. So we need to get, since our source voltage is at 208 volts. So ST is a constant of 746 times the horsepower, all over with the effective, or the efficiency of the motor, angle of degrees, angle of the theta, plus the power of the heating unit. So for the ST, or the apparent power, total power, that's 746 times 5, all over with 0.85, with our efficiency 0.85. Angle of negative, since we're talking about the power factor, negative cos negative 1 times 0.8 plus the 1,500 watts. So for our ST, or the apparent power, upon calculation here, so 5,660.24, and upon calculation also here, that will be negative 27.72 voltage ampere. So since we have the apparent power, we can get now the line current in the heating unit. So IL is equal to ST, or the apparent power, all over with square root of 3 times the voltage in line. So the current L is equal to 5,000. So we will just use this one to get the current. So 660.24 all over with square root of 3 times 208 volts. So we have here the 208 volts. So upon calculation, the IL, or the current L for the load, is the OB 15.71 amperes. So we will check if our answer is correct. So here, there will be 15.71 amperes. Right? So for our next problem, for our last problem, is that will be problem number 1. An unbalanced delta connected load with impedance of ZAB, or the impedance AB is 100 ohms, ZBC is equal to 120 minus the 150 index ohms, and ZCA which is J 200 ohms, is connected to a 230 volt source, calculate the total active power drawn by the circuit. So take note that our impedance here is 100 ohms, 120 minus J 150 ohms, and the ZCA is J 200 ohms. And we have here the choices. So moving forward for the last number, so problem number 1. So this is the circuit diagram for the delta connected load. So we have here the delta. So IAB here, and the IBC here, and the ICA. And then we have here also that the 230 volts. And then for the ZAB, that will be 100 ohms. ZBC is 120 minus J 150 ohms, and the ZCA is J 200 ohms. So we can get the if forgetting the power, active power drawn, we will get also the current. So IAB is equal to BP over with ZAB. So we all know that the VP, or the source voltage, is 230 volts all over with 100 ohms. So IAB is equal to, upon calculations, that will be 2.3 amperes. And since we have the AB, we will also get the IBC. So IBC is the BP also all over with ZBC. So for the BP, same as the 230 volts here, all over with 120 minus J 150 ohms. Since our denominator here is quite complex, so we will transform this into a rectangular form, into a simpler one, or also into a rectangular form. So 120 minus J 150 ohms in rectangular form upon calculations, that will be 192.09 angle of negative 51.34 degrees. So we will use this 192.09 in our impedance ZBC. So IBC is equal to 230 volts all over with 192.09 ohms. So our IBC here is, upon calculation, that will be 1.20 amperes. But take note for the ZCA, that the ZCA is not included. It's because the impedance is not resistive, meaning the delta is unbalanced. So ZCA is not included because not the impedances is not resistive. Okay, so the if ZCA is not included, we can get the PT only by using the formula of IAB squared, IAB, IBC, and ZAB, and also ZBC. So for the PT, for the total power drawn by the circuit, PT is equal to IAB squared ZAB plus IBC squared times ZBC. That will be PT is equal to substitution, upon substitution, 2.3 squared times the ZAB here, which is the 100 ohms, times IBC squared. That will be 120 amperes squared times, and our ZBC here is 120. So times 120, the total power is 701.8, or the 702 watts. So let's check if our answer is correct. So 626 watts, 63 watts, 697 watts, and 702 watts. So upon calculation, our answer is at 702 watts. So we can say that our problems are quite interesting. So we can have another problems in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe for my YouTube channel and uh, for also my other social media accounts, the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So I'll just send in the link below. Thanks guys for watching.